everybody. My name is Rob Montgomery. I'm one of the principals here at Climb. And I'm really excited to talk to you about a subject that's kind of near and dear, I think, to every single flight school owner's heart, which is productivity. I had a case the other day where I showed up at the airport and I was getting ready to go teach a student and waiting out by the front desk. And I'm looking around and I noticed a couple of things. I noticed that I didn't see any other students there. There was nobody making progress towards completing their training program. And I noticed that the flight instructors were hanging around talking on the couch, just the few that were there, but none of them were making any kind of money, right? And I realized that as a flight school, if you don't have students learning and you don't have instructors teaching, what you also don't have is you don't have revenue coming through the front door, right? And what this does is this kind of creates a trifecta of a problem, right? This creates unhappy students. This creates unhappy instructors because they're there for flight time most of all, but they're also there to get paid. And when they're not making money and they're not flying, they're going to get quite unhappy, right? And most importantly, from my perspective, is it also impacts the flight school, right? Flight schools operate on very, very thin margins. And we can't afford too many days where there aren't, there's no money coming into the flight school. And so what we have to do is we've got to figure out ways in which we can make sure that our flight schools are productive every single day. And at Climb, that's kind of one of our North Stars, is how do we make sure that we're as productive as humanly possible as we go through the process of operating a flight school. One of the tools that we have is something called the nonlinear course flow. So if you think about a traditional kind of model of how people learn, this is how I learned, 25, 30 years ago when I was learning how to fly, I was handed a flip book. Right, and that flip book had lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4, and as you got to the last lesson, you'd covered everything. You were ready to go. You were ready to be a private pilot or an instrument pilot or whatever the certificate or rating was that you were working on. And that model, the flip book is generally going away, but that model still very much exists, right? In the digital form, we still have that concept of lesson 1 through N. Right? And that works fine to a point, right? I'd always bring that new student in. I'd be all excited. Hey, we're going to do lesson 1 today. We'd do lesson 1. We'd finish lesson 1 and hey, we're ready to move on and do lesson 2, right? And the same thing, we'd finish lesson 2. We're ready to move on and do lesson 3. But every once in a while, we'd come across something that was a stumbling block, right? It might be a student problem, or it might be a weather related issue, or it might be any number of different things. But all of a sudden we have that one activity we can't get done. And what that does is that blocks us. And so what we can do is we can do one of two things, right? We can do what most flight schools do, which is they look at it and they go, well, we'll start, checking things off here. We'll check things off on the next lesson. We'll kind of start, and all of a sudden we're deviating from the syllabus. I don't think I ever saw a student get all the way through the program staying on the syllabus, right? The other thing we can do is we can become very, very rigid. And we can say, no, you will not move on. And this is especially happening around stage checks, right? I have a friend of mine who used to teach at a flight school where a lot of people from out of the country would come in. And a lot of them would have a lot of problems with air traffic control, which kind of makes sense, right? Especially if you're not a native English speaker. But the problem was where air traffic controls fit in is it blocked access to things like short field landings and soft field landings and things like that, which kind of gives you a bit of a challenge because they're not related to air traffic control. How do we make sure that if we have an ATC problem, I probably wouldn't send them on a cross country, but there's absolutely no reason why we can't start focusing on performance maneuvers and doing some other things while they're working to build that competency around air traffic control. And we find that especially at Part 141 schools that are very, very focused on that syllabus, what happens is this is where we start seeing students washing out. So it'll be one or two obstacles. The next thing you know, the whole system is broken. They're not keeping up with their cohort and the whole thing kind of falls apart. So what we do is Climb is we do something just a little bit different, which is we treat this as a nonlinear. The idea is we want to give options to the instructor. And we want to give options to the student, right? So it kind of starts out the same, right? You're going to start out, you come in, you're going to have a certain number of activities available. The blue activity is the one that's available, right? And when you go ahead and you do that activity, now every activity for which you meet the prereqs is going to open up. And you're going to notice here we have the same number of activities, but we have a lot of things that are going on, right? We have more steps, if you will, in the process. And so as an instructor, you can take multiple activities and kind of combine them all into a lesson. So now we finish one activity and 2 of them are now available. So we have kind of a fork in the road, right? We do activity 3, we get another 4. We do activity 2 here, we're not doing them in the sequence in which they're numbered because we don't have to, right? And the further we get into it very, very quickly, we're going to have a huge number of options opened up to us. And so now we come into the airport and it's a rainy day or a snowy day or an airplane's broken or something else. We have a list of things that we can do. We can still make progress towards things, right? The student still sees progress happening. Instructor is still billing the time and able to actually, get the things out of the way on the bad weather days so that they can go fly and build flight time and get paid on the good weather days, right? And we wind up with everybody being kind of happy, everybody sticking with the syllabus, and we're much less likely to block that student and have that student wash out of the program. Okay. If you want to see a demo of this, we've got a great user interface. We'd love to show it to you. We love showing this stuff off. Shoot us an email over at team@climb.aero, and either Sue, my partner, or I will be happy to get back to you, and we will make sure you're going to see this is a pretty cool system. So I look forward to meeting you.